We're going to circle back now to breaking news we told you about at the top of the hour. A heavy police presence at the Oglethorpe Mall in Savannah. And WSAV's Ben Singer joins us again now from the scene. Ben, what are police saying right now?
So, Tina, witnesses have confirmed to us that they did hear gunshots fired inside the mall. So I'm near the Macy's now. We've kind of come away from the mall a little bit at the request of police. They are still getting the injured out of the mall. In fact, since we talked to you just a few moments ago, 2 people have been taken away on stretchers and put into ambulances. So if you kind of look this way, you see there are a fair number of cars still in this particular section of the mall parking lot. And now what is happening is people who have survived this ordeal are kind of coming out here to wonder if they can go back in and get their belongings and sort of share their stories. And Jay here has been talking to us about what she experienced inside the mall. So you work inside, and at one point you heard gunshots. So tell us what you heard and what you saw in there.
People just started running, and we were wondering why they were running, but usually like when people, the last time that's happened, there was a shooting in the mall. So I just grabbed my purse as fast as possible and I ran outside. Then a bunch of people ran outside. The next thing you know, when we were outside, the policeman came outside and started pointing guns at somebody that was a little bit in front of my car. And then we just ran to the side, so we didn't really know what happened. Then about 10 minutes later, they pulled out a gurney and then put somebody on a gurney and brought them back in the mall. So yeah, it all happened pretty fast.
So we're standing here right behind the Macy's there. There is an entrance between the Macy's and the food court entrance. Is that the entrance that you came out?
No, it's the entrance between the Macy's and the JCPenney. So like they just let us out actually because they have that side taped off now.
Okay. So you don't have to tell us where you work, but where you work in one of the kiosks in one of the hallways. So which hallway were you working in? The one by the JCPenney?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, that's usually where everyone runs out when everything happens because it's like the easy fastest exit.
And how many people would you say were in the mall at the time when people felt the need to leave?
Over 100. I'm sure it was over 100 people. Yeah, because I know about 20, I'd seen like 30, 20 people running into just the barbershop. The stores were opening the doors like, come on guys, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, get inside, get inside. But I was closest to the exit, so I just ran outside to my car.
Could you discern whether anyone was sort of giving some guidance in terms of whether people should shelter in place or whether people should evacuate?
Usually, I do think there is protocol set for certain of the store owners in the mall. So I know H&M and, like I said, the barbershop, they're quick to tell people to get inside and quickly close the doors and shut down and shelter in place. And I know the people on the outskirts, like the security just telling them, get outside, get outside, get outside, you know.
So what was it like for you when you got out here and then you saw law enforcement pursue someone and actually put a gun toward them?
I was more worried about the girls who were with me because they're kind of young girls. I think they were just shopping in the mall. So I just was trying to look out for them, letting them know like it's okay because she was having like a panic attack. So I was like kind of zoned out to everything else but like them at that moment.
And what can you tell us about the person that you saw taken out on one of the gurneys? Was that person visibly injured?
It was hard to tell because they just put him on the gurney and then they kind of just rushed him inside. He wasn't really moving or anything, but like I didn't see any blood or anything like that, so I'm not sure like his state or his injuries. I just know they strapped him down and like rushed him back through the building.
Do you have items still inside that you're waiting to collect?
Yeah, they said they're at active crime scene right now, so I don't think we'll be able to get our stuff back until probably tomorrow. Yeah, I know people have keys in there. They probably asked the cop or something to get them for them, but luckily I just grabbed my purse. It's the first thing I just grabbed and left my like backpack and my lunch there because it's like that's not important right now.
Well, thank you for sharing that with us. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
Oh, nothing.
Okay, thank you for your time. That's Jay. She works in the mall. We appreciate her time today. So I'm standing right outside the Chatham County Public Library branch that's here on the edge of the parking lot. We are waiting for an update from Savannah Police. The public information officer, we're told, is en route to this location to give us what they know so far about this. As you can imagine, scenes like this are incredibly hard to process just because of the sheer size of what's going on. Let me stand out of the way, and even though we're kind of being kept at a distance right now, I do just kind of want to tell you what, and this actually, just to look at it, based on the other angles of the mall that we've seen on our way over here, this is by far the most quiet. There are literally so many squad cars and law enforcement vehicles on the front side of the mall that faces Abercorn with the stores like Barnes & Noble. That's kind of like a very recognizable landmark for most people who are familiar with this mall. It is a sea of officers in that location. When we arrived here about 15 minutes ago now, There were 3 ambulances leaving from this area in particular. Maybe this is because it is sort of a lesser trafficked area at the moment. That may be why first responders chose this area to get the people out of here and evacuated who need that urgent medical care. So we saw 3 ambulances leaving here. Since then, we've seen 2 people rolled out on gurneys and taken into other ambulances. We presume that many of those people are going to Memorial Health. That is the level 1 trauma center in our area. They usually get the brunt of the serious immediate injuries that need that urgent care right now, but we do expect an update from the hospital shortly on what they may be facing right there, because if there are enough victims, we've seen because of past incidences, they may have to get other medical centers involved. So we do have Savannah Fire on the scene here as well, and we have Savannah Police. We have the Chatham County Sheriff's Department. The food court is the vantage point that we are in front of here right now, but that doesn't seem to be the epicenter of the activity. We know from some witness accounts inside the mall that the fountain in the sort of the center walkway, inside one of the main entrances, seems to be a place where people may have been injured by gunfire, and that is where some witnesses inside have told us that that is where they saw blood and heard the audible sounds of gunfire as well. So Tina, that is the latest from this vantage point. We're really hoping to get some information from Savannah Police in just a few moments, and as soon as we get that, we will share it with you.
Ben, thank you so much. And right now we want to go on the opposite side of the mall. That's the Abercorn Street side and Mall Boulevard to check in with WSAV's Christine Quayle. And Christine, tell us what you're seeing and hearing there.
Yes, Tina. So we're here over on Abercorn, just adjacent to the mall. We're going to swing the camera around so you can see absolutely massive police presence. As we've been telling you, we're going to show you over by Barnes & Noble, filled with police cars. Over this way, if we swing a little bit further, multiple ambulances, fire. As we've been telling you, there was a confirmed shooting here. That's what SPD tells us. And people who were inside the mall at the time of the shooting tell me that all of the employees, for the most part, have been evacuated. They're over on the other side of the mall. There are still some around here, but SPD has blocked off this whole area. That's why we're out here by the side of the road. They're not allowing anyone in at the moment. We're going to swing back around so you can see, even in this direction, the entrance completely blocked off. The entrance on the other side of the road blocked off as well. We are hearing that multiple people have been shot. So we just saw a couple of ambulances. We got on scene about 10 minutes ago, and we saw a couple of ambulances pulling out as well. We don't have a confirmed number of people who were shot, but witnesses who were inside the mall at the time tell us that multiple people were shot. So what we're going to be doing right after we finish with this live shot here, we're going to go around and talk to some people. I know there were some interviews as well earlier in the show who experienced this firsthand, were there when it happened. So stay tuned in our later broadcast to hear more from them. But again, massive police presence all up and down this entire parking lot here. So as we learn more information, we will be sure to give that to you. I'll send it back to you now, Tina, with that's the latest that I have from here.
All right, Christine, thank you. As you are watching WSAV, many of you may have just turned on to take a look at what's happening. So this is sad news happening at the Oglethorpe Mall in Savannah on the south side. That's Abercorn Street. Also near Mall Boulevard as well. A situation where massive police presence has unfolded. Let's check in again with WSAV's Ben Singer for what he can tell us at this moment.
Okay. All right, Tina, stand by, everybody. I am going to, this is Stephanie with Savannah Police, and she is the one that has the update that we may need, but she's on the phone right now, so I'm not sure. She obviously doesn't know we're live on the air here, so I want to make sure I give her a chance to get her thoughts in order before she does share her comments with us. But we are in the parking lot here of the Macy's. This is the staging area now for the information apparatus of Savannah Police. As you can see, their public information officer just arrived as you were coming to me here in this vehicle. So she's been, actually come this way, Brandon, let's not get injured here. So this is an area that's sort of away from all of the action, most of the action here at the mall. As we've mentioned previously, there are dozens of squad cars and law enforcement personnel near, what many consider to be the main entrance of the mall, near the Barnes & Noble. There are Savannah Police on scene, Savannah Fire, Chatham County Sheriff's Office. There are still dozens and dozens of people that are in this parking lot that were either people who were in the mall at the time this happened, or they are people who worked in the mall. And I can tell you from experience, when something like this happens at a large center like this, it could be hours and sometimes even days before people are allowed to return to the affected areas to retrieve their belongings. Obviously, the first goal of investigators here will be to preserve that crime scene so they can really get a better sense of exactly what happened. And that will really inform the legal proceedings to come. Tina, why don't you take it back for just a moment? I'm going to touch base with Stephanie, and we're going to see if we can give you the update that we've been waiting for.
All right, Ben, thank you. We'll check in with you shortly. So if you are just joining us here on WSAV, we are continuing our coverage of what has been a terrible situation at the Oglethorpe Mall. There has been a shooting there. We've had word from our reporters on the scene. There you saw Ben Singer just a moment ago. Christine Quayle is there as well. There are reports of people being taken out on gurneys, people hurt because of a shooting at the Oglethorpe Mall. The epicenter close to the food court. If you're familiar with the Oglethorpe Mall, I've been there many times. Listen, there is a fountain in that area as well near the J.C. Penney, and that's perhaps where this situation unfolded. We are showing you some pictures right now. Ben Singer waiting to get an update from the public information officer with Savannah Police. He says that there are multiple agencies on the scene. Ben talked to a young lady who works at one of the kiosks at the mall, and she gave a first-hand account of what she saw and what she heard. So this is certainly a tragic situation at the Oglethorpe Mall. We will continue to bring you the very latest heavy police presence around the mall. We're talking the Oglethorpe Mall, Abercorn Street side, and you know it's flanked by Hodgson Memorial, and also on the opposite side of that mall near Macy's. This is all unfolding in real time. Of course, we will continue to bring you the very latest. And right now, why don't we go back out to WSAV's Christine Quayle. Christine, do you have any updates to give us right now?
Yes, Tina, so this is a developing situation. We're gonna, again, show you this area right here. We're gonna swing the camera around so you can see the law enforcement presence that's here. Both areas are blocked off in terms of an entrance. You can't get in on either side of the mall here. If we're able to zoom in a little bit on where you see that Oglethorpe Mall sign, you'll see everything is taped up with caution tape as well as fire trucks. So multiple fire, police, ambulances here on scene as well. As far as traffic, I'm gonna come back into the frame here. As far as traffic, like I said, this whole area here is completely blocked off, and they are letting traffic come this way. But if you're trying to get into the mall on the other side of Mall Boulevard, you will not be able to get in. We are working to learn more information just about how many people were injured here. I'm going to, like I said earlier in our broadcast, I'm going to be going and talking to some people who were inside the mall when this happened. I did hear from a few of them that multiple people were shot, so we're working to learn just how many there are. But still a very massive law enforcement presence here, as you can see all over this parking lot. So again, we're going to keep delivering you the most up-to-date information as we receive it, and we're going to be checking in with Savannah Police as often as possible. So I'll send it back to you for now, Tina, and we'll try and get as many details as we can until next time.
All right, Christine, thank you. Again, if you're just joining us, a serious situation happening at the Oglethorpe Mall. Within the last half hour, a shooting there, and the epicenter of the shooting is still difficult to determine at this time until we get information from police. However, many people say that it happened near the food court and the water fountain, if you're familiar with that area. And Ben Singer is joining us now. He has another witness to give us the account of what they saw during this situation today. Ben?
Telling you, I did make contact with the public information officer, Stephanie, for Savannah Police. They are not quite ready to go forward with a more robust briefing, but she did confirm that a shooting took place here. She cannot confirm that a suspect has been apprehended, but again, it's such a massive scene, so there's going to have to be a scenario where several of the sergeants or higher ranking officers on scene will then eventually report back to her, and then she can report to us. Obviously, they don't want misinformation spreading about exactly what happened here, but she confirmed that there was a shooting. She's confirmed that there are unknown injuries. Of course, we've heard anecdotally and seen maybe at least 6 or 7 people who have been injured, but we are waiting for more on that. In the meantime, we're going to get some more perspectives of people who were in the mall. So we have some girls here who were in there at the time with their parents' blessing here, able to come talk to us. Give us your names, please.
Caroline, Isabella, Ashlyn.
Okay, and where were you all when this happened?
Charlotte Roos.
Okay, so what did you hear and what did you see?
So we were checking out, and then I didn't hear anything, but my sister's friend texted her and said, I heard gunshots, and then everyone started like closing down, and also we all ran to the back of the store because we didn't know what to do.
Okay, so you're in the back of the store, then what happened?
And then we hear gunshots, and the police tell us to go outside and wait to further notice, and then they told us to run inside, and then we run, and then they made us run back outside, and then we waited they told us we're released.
So it was sort of chaotic. They told you went to the back of the store, then you were told to leave the store, and then told to go back in?
That's right.
Okay, what can you tell us about what you saw?
Well, yeah, like she said, I was checking out, and then next thing you know, we see a whole lot of people running like the opposite direction of where it was coming from, and then they decided to close the store and put us all into like where the fitting rooms were, but then after they put us in the back room, and then we went outside, came inside, went outside, and stuff like that.
How many people were back there with you in those fitting rooms?
Like over 20, yeah.
And what were those moments like? What were people saying? What were people doing?
People were calling their parents, family, stuff like that.
How full was the store at the time when this was going on?
It wasn't that full, but like there was people that were running in because they wanted to find a place to be safe, I guess. Yeah.
So what were you all feeling when you're hearing those sounds and seeing people react to what was going on?
We were really sad, crying. We were hoping we would stay safe.
What did you think about what was happening?
I was very scared, and the only thing I was really like trying to do or anything was text my mom and dad.
So did you get a hold of your parents? They all know what's up. I know you're with a guardian here as well, but describe for me, you said you heard the sound of gunshots. So how many did you hear? Or was that you that said that? How many did you hear, and what did that sound like?
It was like 5 or 6, and it sounded really scary.
So when you were leaving that store, did you leave through the mall, or was there a back entrance or something that you were able to go through?
There was a back exit. We went out.
Okay, so was that around here somewhere, or was that?
It was in the back.
Okay, so the back was kind of like the middle area of the mall. Okay, is there anything else you'd like to say about this?
Just God bless everyone that got shot, and thank you, Lord, for protecting everyone that was in the mall.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that with us. We really appreciate it. We're sorry you had to go through that, but hopefully you all will be on your way very shortly. Did you all leave stuff in the mall still? Are you good? Okay, you're good. All right. Thank you so much. Man, excuse the sweating. Very hot out here. A lot of people are clearly still processing what they have seen today. There are dozens of people still in the parking lot. Again, some people were shoppers in the stores. A lot of these folks were people who had worked in the mall. We heard from a woman earlier that was working in one of the center kiosks, and it seems like when there have been shooting incidents in the past, they kind of know what to do because they've sort of been down that road, but this felt a little different to several of the people that I've talked to who have been through something not this big of a deal. So we're still waiting to figure out exactly how much of a big deal this is. We know that several people have been injured. That's been confirmed by police. We don't know an exact number. We know that a shooting has been confirmed. That's the reason that people are injured. We still do not know whether a suspect has been apprehended, but we are just steps away from the public information officer of the Savannah Police Department right now. I can see her on her phone right from here. So hopefully in the next few minutes here, we'll have a better idea of what's going on, especially about whether someone may still be at large for the shooting that took place here at the Oglethorpe Mall. Tina, we're going to regroup and talk to some more folks here in the parking lot. I'm going to send it back to you.
All right, Ben, thank you. We'll check in with you again soon. Certainly frightening accounts you just heard from some of the people at the Oglethorpe Mall, where there has been a shooting. It's confirmed by police here in Savannah, a massive police presence on location there all around the mall. And we are continuing to bring you coverage. We have Christine Quayle at the mall as well. On the opposite side of where Ben was located or is located, he's near the food court and the Macy's, and many of you are probably familiar with that area. So this scene started unfolding within the last 45 minutes, and we are bringing you the very latest. Let's check in once again now with WSAV's Christine Quayle, as she's on the opposite side of the mall near Abercorn Street.
Yeah, so this is a developing situation. I'm going to kind of take you on a walk with me here. So we're being asked to move over by SPD, so we're going to move this way here. They do have a significant area blocked off, but there are multiple people who say they were inside or they were just pulling up to the scene right when those shots rang out here in this area. Okay, yeah, we'll walk and talk. That's fine. We're being told by SPD that we have to move. I am going to swing that camera around, though, this way so you can see this is the parking garage area where witnesses tell us that they evacuated most of the employees. We're going to swing it back around so you can keep walking with me this way. As I've said before, both entrances are blocked off to the mall. So this way over on Mall Boulevard, I don't know if you can see, but there is a police car blocking off the entrance completely. We're going to swing around. You can see the Belk store here, another main entrance. I'm sorry? Okay, no worries. Yeah, we're being asked to move towards Mall Boulevard, but we are going to show you over here Belkwood. You see the Chatham County Sheriff's car as well. There are multiple people in this area who say we were just pulling up. We were just thinking we were going to come to the mall. And then all of a sudden, that's when all this chaos erupted and people started hearing shots ring out. So that is what we know. Like I said, many of the employees were evacuated to this area. People are starting to leave. But as we learn more, we are going to update you. So I'll send it back to you for now when we know more and when we talk to a couple more witnesses.
All right, Christine, thank you. And if you are just joining WSAV, we are still on air right now, bringing you the very latest of a shooting that happened at the Oglethorpe Mall. We will continue to follow this situation. We do know that there have been several people taken to the hospital, taken out on gurneys. People were evacuated from the mall. This is a very frightening situation. Ben Singer is there on scene, and you just saw WSAV's Christine Quayle. So we will continue to follow this developing story. Right now, what we want to do is join NBC Nightly News, already in progress. Stay with WSAV on your side, on air, and online at WSAV.com.